It was exactly midnight. The railway station was completely deserted, wrapped in a thick, freezing winter fog. Suddenly, as the hands of the ancient station clock struck 12, a piercing train whistle cut through the silence. Out of the heavy mist, an old, pitch-black steam train pulled up to the platform. Eerie yellow light flickered from its windows, but inside, there was only dead silence. Driven by curiosity, I stepped through the heavy black door and entered the train. The interior was a long, narrow corridor lined with old wooden cabins. Passengers dressed in formal black clothes sat in every single seat, but none of them were moving. When I looked closer at their faces, terror gripped me. Their faces were completely blank and blurry, as if their features had been entirely erased. Panic surged through me. I turned around and sprinted back toward the exit. But with a violent crash, the heavy iron door slammed shut on its own. I grabbed the rusted metal handle, shaking it desperately with all my strength, but it wouldn't budge. The door felt like a solid brick wall. Every escape route was sealed. Then, heavy footsteps echoed down the dark aisle. A figure emerged from the shadows. A ticket conductor wearing a tattered vintage uniform, holding a rusted iron punch machine. When he raised his head, my breath caught in my throat. His skin was pale and decaying, and his eyes were completely milky white, devoid of any pupils. Without moving his lips, a chilling, distorted voice echoed in my mind, demanding a ticket. I had nothing. Slowly, he raised a decaying finger and pointed to an old analog clock mounted on the wooden wall. The hands of the clock were spinning rapidly backward. In that very moment, I felt the life force draining from my body. Suddenly, the train lurched forward, accelerating to an impossible violent speed. When I looked out the window, the station and the tracks were gone. Outside was an apocalyptic wasteland of raging red fires, glowing brimstone, and swirling black smoke. The train was flying through the air, plunging into a bottomless, fiery abyss. Inside the cabin, the temperature plummeted drastically. Frost and sharp ice crystals began spreading rapidly across the windows, and my own breath froze in the air. Then, the faceless passengers, who had remained deathly still, stood up from their seats in perfect unison. They all turned their blank, featureless heads directly toward me. Out of the darkness, a horrifying chorus of weeping and whispering filled the air. Thousands of disembodied voices echoed inside my head, chanting a terrifying truth. Whoever boards this train becomes a part of it forever. There is no return. You belong to the dark now. My lungs burned, and my heart was on the verge of bursting. They surrounded me, closing in from every corner. As their ice-cold, decaying hands gripped my skin, a freezing numbness took over. I finally understood. This was no ordinary train. This was the final ride for the damned, drifting forever through the afterlife. The next morning, dawn broke over a silent, fog-covered station. The train was entirely gone, as if it had never existed. When the police investigated the empty platform, all they found was my old leather suitcase. I was gone, erased from the world, destined to ride the midnight train forever, as another faceless passenger.